I'm gonna walk you through my first attempt at casting a dome for an outdoor fireplace out of chamber safe, some really expensive refractory cement, castable refractory cement chamber safe. I got it for a third more than I could have got it elsewhere over at my local building supply store. But with shipping and time and all that, it turned out to be the best method. And what I'm going to try, I couldn't find any information to tell me whether it sticks to plastic, whether it sticks to oil, whether it sticks to paper, whether it sticks to cloth. So I'm going to do a little experimenting with a tiny amount first, I think, just to get a feel for it. And then I'm going to do some bigger experimenting with, I've got a metal bowl in here. I've actually got it wrapped in plastic, and then an old, I've got it in a trash bag, and then a old pillowcase. So I'm not real happy with the amount of wrinkles that I may potentially get on there. So I think I'm also going to try one with just oil sprayed, cooking spray oil on it, which I know works for some castables. And then this board here, I need kind of a little bit of an arched form for the top of my entrance. So I'm going to, I have that wrapped in cling wrap. Worst case scenario, if it sticks, I figure I can burn it off. Or, you know, that's if any of it even works at all. Got some distilled water just in case, so I know that I'm not using contaminated water, because everything talks about that being important. I've got some just regular tap water for rinsing stuff off. I've got my heavy-duty concrete gloves in case I decide I need them. And then I've got these little gloves, which is what I'm hoping to be able to wear. I've got a tool for smearing it around, and actually, now that I think of it, I'm going to go grab another trowel, a nicer one that I have, I think, and make sure it's clean. Got some paper towels on hand just because. I've got these bowls, foam bowls, because initially I was looking for some kind of square or rectangle brickish molds, and so depending on how much of this I end up making, if I have some left over, I might try a little in that just to see if it sticks. And also because when I'm putting in the flue to my stove, I may need a couple of little bricks for the sides of that. In fact, I'm pretty sure I do. So that's my plan. I'm going to pause you. I'm going to grab that other trowel, and then I decided to use this cheap bowl for my mixing bowl in case it never comes out. I can just toss it away. So, oh, and I've gotten a cheap spoon. All my plastic utensils are in the house where I can't get to because I'm renting it out right now. But I have a little plastic fork, and this talks about using 4 to 5 cups for every 5 pounds for casting, and 3 to 4 cups for every 5 pounds for parge application. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna, oh, and I have a little plastic, what happened to my little plastic measuring bowl? I don't have a regular measuring cup, but I did bring, I'll have to find that. I don't know what happened to my little measuring bowl, but in any case, I will get it. I will get my other trowel, and then I will mix up a little bit and share that with you. So sit tight. I'll be right back. Oh yeah, don't forget your dust mask. This stuff is high in silica, really dangerous to the lungs. And I burned my nose yesterday doing some work with fumes and clay and lime powder, and I'm feeling it. So I'm going to be extra careful from now on. I recommend you be extra careful too. You can see my food dog back there. That's out of Papercrete. I got some stuff going on, showing you how to build that sort of thing too. And yep, if you got any questions so far, please throw them down in the comments. I'm going to pause you, I hope. But in case I lose you, let me just point out that there are other ways to get a hold of me in the description. There's ways to support me. And I got other videos on making cool stuff coming up and in the past. Please hold. All right, so I want to show you what it looks like. It kind of surprised me. It doesn't look like what I thought it would. I'm going to put this back on. It's not as fly away dusty as I thought either, but when I mix it, it probably will be. It's definitely got some fly ash. But I don't know if you can see. Probably can't. I'm going to show you down here. It's got like some neat fibers and particles, maybe probably pumice or perlite in it. I'm going to see if you can see that. I'm imagining that's ceramic, probably ceramic fibers. And that's about a pound. I filled one of these bowls and went and weighed it, and it was about 12 ounces, so I put one more scoop. That's about a pound. The recipe calls for 3 to 5 cups of water per 5 pounds. So I think I'm going to mix up the 1 pound first, although I'm a little nervous that won't quite be enough. But it does say you can add more layers to layers. So I'm going to mix up the 1 pound, kind of see how much that gives me, and take it from there. I'll be back. So that was a lot less messy and easier than I thought. It didn't show you the crumbly mixy bit, but I ended up kind of just mixing it up with my hands, which I just rinsed off and then took the glove off. But I can see it's going to take a little bit longer than I might have thought to set also, which is fine. I don't know how long. I couldn't find any information on that, but I'll keep you posted. It does say if you use warm water that it speeds the set time. It's interesting stuff. It's kind of crumbly, a little bit sticky. I started on my oil covered pan because I don't think it's going to stick at all it doesn't seem to stick to metal at all, which might be an issue when I go to put my bricks on steel if I go that way. But in any case, I'm going to mix up another couple pounds of it. It took a little more than 1 cup of water to make the right consistency for what I am pretty sure was about a pound. So that would be closer to the 5 things of water per 5 pounds. So I think that's probably the max water that you want to use, and I actually used a smidgen more just to keep it from being so crumbly. So hopefully I didn't mess that up, but I did work it with my hand. I tried. It doesn't say anything. Again, I couldn't find any information. Like with clay, it gets better the more you work it. With cement, sometimes it gets worse the more you work it. So anyway, I kind of came in the middle. I suspect this is probably your typical recipe that you find, just specially formulated. I think it probably has a little perlite, some ceramic fibers or fiberglass, and some silica and some fire clay, I bet, and maybe some Portland. I can't tell. That might be the gray stuff, might be fly ash or something. Anyway, I'm going to be experimenting with my own recipes of it in the future, but I wanted to start with the pricey stuff because I was in a hurry and just to see how they compare. So I will be letting you know. I'm going to pause you again. I'll put my glove back on, mix up a little more of this, and finish this mold. Be back soon. All right, just a quick update. I covered this bowl. I made a second mix with a little bit more and a little bit more water, so it was a little easier to work with. Both cases super, super easy to work with. I feel kind of silly for thinking so long and hard about how I was going to manage the potential mess, because it's very not messy. Be very easy to smooth into a firebox, which makes me happy because my brickwork on my first oven may have some misaligned parts, and I may actually redo them when I get there tomorrow. It's all a work in progress. We'll see, but I like knowing that I have this option because as long as I don't use up too much of it today on these molds, which I'm just going to do the 2 domes and the board for my top part, and give myself these as options tomorrow when I go finish up my oven. And I'm probably going to play, maybe not today, we'll see how much time I have, with an alternative mix just to kind of compare the two, see how they work, see how they cure, and then eventually put them both in all of them into different ovens and see how they wear, how they fire, how they burn, how they refract the heat, and how much they don't crack. That's the part I'm looking forward to. We'll see. Anyhow, just FYI, this has been, I don't know, probably going on half an hour since the first mix, and it feels just as wet as it ever did. I don't feel any curing going on. It definitely is not the kind of thing that heats up to cure like plaster Paris. So I think it's probably just clay and Portland base. I'm hoping that it doesn't shrink too much and crack itself on my form, but all I can do is find out. So, and if it does, I think I can actually paste it back together with itself pretty easily. So that's my plan. I'm going to mix up some more and put it on this one on the fabric, just because I said that, and one on this plastic, and this is on oil. So I will be back probably tomorrow with, well, I don't know when this is going to get posted or that one, but there will be a future video if it's not up already. There's a good chance there is, because you probably aren't seeing this first day I post it. But in any case, look for another follow-up video. I'll try to get the right card up, but that's all a work in progress too, so we'll see. Meanwhile, let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'd love to know. The other mix that I'm going to play with is fire clay, perlite, and lime, and a little bit of Portland, I think. So there's a few different recipes that I ran into online, so I'm going to play with a couple of those. Maybe in the future I'll even buy some ceramic fibers and or some of the metal fibers that I hear about people using, steel needles or something. All of those sound intriguing. I bet they all give slightly different results, but in any case, I bet this is going to be an awesome fireplace, whether or not it's 100% optimal or not, which it probably won't be, because what really is, right? It's all a work in progress. Love to know your questions and comments. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out some of my playlists and my other videos. I got lots of good stuff in there, and some mediocre stuff too. I ain't gonna lie. You can find other ways to connect to me and support me in the description. And as always, I wish you peace, prosperity, positivity, love and laughter, and playfulness.